Hello everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming to the channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast. It is Tuesday, January the 6th, 2026. I'm here to give you a breaking news update regarding the murder of the Ohio dentist and his wife. This happened last week, it's basically a whole week ago. So there's a breaking news, guys. So it's just this is very shocking to learn about this because when I first heard about the case, I kind of thought of something like this would be the reason. But then because there was no weapon found, everybody thought, definitely somebody did this, an aggressor. A person of interest went in and did this. Also, earlier today, there was a video that was released, right? A video that was released of a person of interest in this case. And now we have something that has come to the surface regarding the case of Monique and Spencer Tepi. And this is the dentist, like I said, and the wife that were found murdered in their home last week, December 30th, 2025. So right now, the breaking news is, guys, that a woman called the authorities to report a domestic dispute, and she was basically crying out for help, right? And this came from the address of Monique and Spencer Tepi, and this happened in April last year. Okay, so let me read to you more details because this can probably lead us into what went on here, right? Like I said in my previous video, I do apologize. I'm have dry mouth right now. My throat is dry. Excuse me. We people, you really never know what goes on into somebody's home, right? You really hope that when they show you happiness and everything is great, that's really, that's really what's going on. We really don't know. But it says here, a tearful 911 call reported domestic dispute at home of the Ohio dentist's wife months before they were found dead. Okay, it says here, woman called the police to report that dispatchers described a domestic dispute at home of the beloved Ohio dentist and his wife months before the couple was found shot dead. According to the report, Spencer, 37, and his wife Monique, 39, were shot dead sometime between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. on December 30th in the upstairs of the residency. So that's another key detail, right? Because they were saying, he was shot multiple times and she was just shot one time in the chest. So I should have given you a trigger warning because I am giving a lot of details, right? So I do apologize for that. So for them to have been found in the upstairs bedroom means it kind of makes you think, wait a second, was this really a burglary? Did somebody really went in? Did they have a guest or something? Because, if it's a robbery, right? Unless they went in overnight hours, that would make sense. But usually when they're taking down a whole couple, normally, right, somebody will wake up and run for help or something like this, right? They try to escape. But they were both found right in the bedroom, right? So that's something to think about. But there was no forced entry also. This is everything that the police was releasing about this case, right? Let me continue to read. Their 2 children and the dog remain unharmed inside, Cap said. An unknown woman called the police around 2:45 a.m., right? That's a key time because they said that they were shot around between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And this call for help that happened in April 2025 came on around 2:45 a.m., right? At the same Wainwright Park address where the Tepe family lived. according to the dispatch. The woman hung up while calling authorities, prompting the operator to call her back to make sure that she no longer needed the help. Okay, and this is all. There's an audio out there. I haven't heard it yet, but they say there's an audio, so I'm sure, once it gets released, a lot of news channels will probably play it. And I do apologize if you hear the alarms going on here, right? So let me see. The call says, "Is this 911? We just hung up. We just got a hang up call. Is everything okay?" The operator asked her, and she said, the woman, listen to this, who cried throughout the call, continually told the dispatcher that she was okay and just emotional. She said, "Well, can I ask why did you call the police?" The operator said. And the woman answered, said, "Because me and my man got into it, but I'm okay, I promise." So, on April 15, 2025, let me see. Wait, April 15 is another. What's April 15? That's Saturday, right? It could be totally unrelated, but I just lost the article. I do apologize. So, she called for help. She hangs up the call. They, you know, the operators are obligated when somebody calls and hangs up to call back and know why did you call them, 911. They call back and she's crying throughout the entire call. That's what it says here. She's crying the entire time saying, "I'm okay." They say, "Why did you call?" She said, "Well, because me and my man got into it." So, I was very surprised, like I said, to learn that they were having some type of domestic issue. The marriages go through that, obviously, but what we have heard from everybody who knows them, right? Everybody that has come out and spoken about them is this. They're very loving, very happy, very patient with each other. There was never an issue. But now this is coming up to the surface, right? And then there are some things that are bringing red flags to me because remember, there was a comment that was made. People were complaining about when the 911 calls were released from last Tuesday. One of the operators said, right? One of the operators said, "We have been getting a lot of calls from there. What has changed since the last call?" And people thought the operator has an attitude. This is very key thing to say, right? You're telling me that you haven't called to do a welfare check on people, and they're telling you we hear kids screaming, things like that. And this operator, completely nonchalant, very, careless, basically saying, "What has changed? We've been getting calls from there. Is there any change?" That type of response. Now looking at this dispute, that this call that happened in April, makes me believe that there were probably other calls before. Maybe prior years. Who knows, right? Because people people remember, right? Oh yeah, that same address. These people call every so often and they never want our help. They just want to call, right? This is just my opinion, guys. It's just something that I'm like, I immediately connected right away. The attitude that that operator had, right? That people were calling out when people kept calling, right? The coworkers, the family, they're calling the police saying, do a welfare check on them. And she's like, "What has changed? We've been getting a lot of calls and things like this." So now looking at this that happened, right? Let me get this that day. April 15 last year at 2:45 a.m., right, from the same address. Looking at this, perhaps I'm thinking now, maybe they had called before, not just this one time in April. and it's basically the same story, right? No, we don't need your help. We're arguing, but we're good now. Never mind, right? Maybe that's what prompted the operator to react that way. It could be, who knows, right? So something that caught my attention. The other thing too is this, the way, I don't think I spoke about this in my previous video about this case, the way, the quick reaction from coworkers and family and business partner the moment they saw that he didn't get to work on time, right? I mean, the business partner, from what I heard, was that this man was in Florida. Like it could be for the Christmas break. He was in Florida calling police in Ohio, right? Saying, go check. He hasn't gone to work or something like this, right? And people thought that was kind of odd. But it's very interesting too. Because I was thinking about that. I understand in the medical field when doctors are calling out for the day, right? They tend to cancel the night before or very early in the morning because they have people waiting on them. They have the patients waiting on them, right? For a lot of procedure things, very serious things. People could be fasting the whole overnight to get this procedure done, and the doctor is not going to come, right? So they tend to cancel very early or the night before so that the patients get notified early in time, right? So I was like, that could be a bug. The way you have two healthy adults, right? The way the staff, the business partner, the family immediately started to reach out to the point that they're calling police to go and do a welfare check on somebody who missed to show up for work. That tells me that maybe there's something that hasn't been revealed yet. Maybe there was a threat made for them. And that prompted a quick reaction to the people. Do the people in the office know about it? Probably not. But maybe somebody was pushing them to call out and maybe got somebody to go drive by the house and see what's going on, right? Because, you know, it was very quick. It was very the operator said we've been getting a lot of calls, right? And that type of reaction, in my opinion, guys, is from somebody who maybe mentioned we've been getting harassment calls, we've been being followed, we're getting threats or things like this. If something happened or if I don't show up on time, get somebody to go and check for us or something like this, right? That could be it. So who knows? But now we have this previous call prompting a domestic violence marked and classified as a domestic violence dispute that happened there April 15, 2025. That she called and she said she was crying the entire time and she said, I'm okay, it's just me and my man got into it. That's what she told Monique said to the dispatcher. So I don't even know what to think of that, but it almost for this call to have resurfaced really brings things it's connecting a lot of dots in this case. But the big mystery is, where is the weapon? The police said no weapon was found. Who is the person walking in the person interest video that they released? Where is the weapon? How did that person get in the house? Was it somebody who it was staying at their house? Did they had a guest? There was no forced entry. There was no weapon found. So what's going on here? So let me know, guys, what you think about this. I'm gonna give you some of the people because the shot There's a lot of people commenting on this, obviously, and a lot of people are following this case too. So let me read to you what people are saying. I do apologize because I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of people typing at the same time. So let's get to the comments. Okay. Somebody said, it's going to turn out that there was a lot more going in that house than meets the eye. Okay. I really hope that a neighbor might come forward with video or something, because I mean, if you see the houses, those houses are very close by. Nobody saw anything. Nobody said, oh yeah, these people, we know them. They have people coming over all the time. There's something going on. There's something funky going on. No camera recorded anything. No neighbors knows anything. Everybody in that neighborhood is not nosy at all. Like, it's so weird to me. I don't mean to be laughing, but it's so weird to me that the houses are so close by, and there is not that neighbor. There's always a nosy neighbor, right? And nobody saw anything. Nobody knows, and nobody's like wants to say anything. Interesting. Somebody said someone was having an affair, just as I suspected. The truth is finally coming out, more to follow. And another person said, that is not something a dentist's wife will say. Me and my man got into it. Come on, everybody, she's saying. I mean, people have different ways to speak, who knows, right? Let me see what else. It's also crazy that, like I said earlier, he was shot multiple times, right? So I know people look at that, like when you look at crime shows and things like that, they see, if they shot you in your face, there is a love thing or something. He was shot multiple times and she was just shot one time in the chest. So that's, it's still very, everything, regardless of what happened, right? It's still very sad, because you need to understand, the kids woke up to that. Their children woke up to that. And when you hear the call from the friend, you can hear the children screaming and crying out. It's so sad, you guys. And then now we know that they were obviously having issues, because back in April, because one thing is to have an argument, but issues to the point that you're gonna call for help, right? Issues to the point that you're gonna call for her. That around that time, maybe the kids also heard that they probably witnessed some of that fighting and things like this. So it's very sad all around, right? So somebody that knows them said, we have had them for the past couple of days. They were just happy, and it's unfortunately that this happened. Somebody, sorry, I was just reading something about the video that they released about the person walking in the back alley. I also learned, you guys see the comments jumped to almost 200. I also learned, you guys, that street that they live in is a one-way street too. So let me see what else. Something. It's not gonna let me see it. do apologize, you guys. I was looking for the comments, but it's not. It's a lot of people commenting after they released this dispute call that happened in April. Like I said, it's still very sad all around. We really hope that somebody will come forward with the whole truth in this case, and we pray that the children are, you know, are being well taken care of by their family members. Let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.